Hey, Bayek. It's me, Ian. And in today's video, we're going to look at this. This is the Satanic Rites of Dracula. Yes, from 1973. Now, originally, it could have been called Dracula is Dead and Well and Living in London. And Christopher Lee, who stars in this, wasn't too impressed with that title, and he didn't like the soul tone of it, and that was dropped. Yes, that gives you an indication about this film. Right, now if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, it gets 33%. The critics have never been that kind on this film. That gives you an indication about it. It's 87 minutes long. Now, it follows Dracula AD 1972, which was an absolute smash hit. It was brilliant, fantastic. Therefore, it has a lot to live up to. And in many ways, it's a sequel to that film. This is also, I think I'll just give you a little bit of background. It's the 8th film in the Dracula Hammer series. And this is the 7th one, which starred Christopher Lee. This is his last role as Dracula for Hammer. It's also the 3rd one in which he's playing Dracula opposite Peter Cushing as Van Helsing. So there we are. That's just a little bit of trivia thrown in. Well, this is directed by Alan Gibson, who also directed the previous one, Dracula AD 1972. It was also written by Don Houghton, or Houghton, I'd say that is. And he also wrote Dracula AD 1972. But a bit of trivia just thrown in. My Doctor Who connections. He also wrote Inferno from 1970 and The Mind of Evil 1971, which were brilliant Third Doctor stories. There you are. You can't be fairer than that. Now, how would we describe this film? Well, it's been described as horror, sci-fi, and a spy thriller. So again, that is an interesting mix, and this is what makes this film, I think, really enjoyable. And though I say I think it's overshadowed by the other film, it doesn't detract from this at all. There are, I think, obvious weaknesses in it, but it doesn't. I don't think it matters that much. It doesn't at all. Another look at the cast. Michael Coles was in the previous film, plays, again, Inspector Murray. Incidentally, I love my Doctor Who connections. Michael Coles was in the Peter Cushing film, Dalek, of the Daleks, Doctor Who and the Daleks of 1965. Nice connection there. Then the other character, William Franklin, who plays Peter Torrance, he's more famous for a commercial going, Schweppes. The Schweppes commercials, they dominated that 70s period. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in. Now, Jessica Van Helsing was replaced by Joanna Lumley, who we all love and know. She, of course, was a Bond girl in 1969 on Her Majesty's Secret Service. But, of course, she became really a household name playing Purdy in the New Avengers. But she's great in this. And I've seen her in quite a few roles in this sort of period. I really like her. She's really good. She's really good. Excellent. Anyway, she's in this and adds a lot to the film. So, what is the premise of this film? The film really is the Secret Service have sent an undercover agent into this mansion. And it transpires that in this mansion, where satanic cults is clearly involved in doing these satanic rituals. And they're prominent members of society involved. You've got a government minister, you've got a peer, you've got a general, and you've got a famous scientist. So this is already very intriguing to the Secret Service who are investigating what's going on. Now, Inspector Murray is brought in, and he, of course, knows Van Helsing, and he recommends they contact him, and so that's how we get the involvement with Van Helsing. And as the film develops, we get to know more about what has been going on, and then Dracula appears. Actually, for quite a little while in the film at the beginning, we don't meet Peter Cushing or Christopher Lee as their respective characters. We get this espionage story, really, about what's going on. But then we get into it all. Peter Cushing basically says that these prominent people are like bringing an end to the world. It's like apocalyptic things, and that the devil, or, you know, the Prince of Darkness and all this, they're going to rule the earth. But he almost says that it's like Dracula is perhaps getting tired of its walking in eternity in his situation and wants to end everything. That's what he's saying. But the twist is, of course, is this a scientific part. The scientist has created what is like a bubonic kind of plague, which they hope to destroy millions of people with, you know. That's the other element, danger, that's involved. And then the story transfers, we get the vampires, you get all the lovely cliches, you know, vampires in the cellar, all these women that they've kidnapped. Hey, you can't beat a bit of that, can you? And you've got Christopher Lee putting on at one stage, I think, a rather strange accent. Because you don't often hear him speak. I don't know what happened to this, but his accent was a bit sort of stranger to me. And he's there as a modern businessman, supposedly, and Peter Cushing as Van Helsing meets him, and he remembers, you know, a couple of years before they had this confrontation, and now they're back again, and we get all that. And it all builds up to the inevitable climax, which is brilliantly done, and, you know, you really enjoy it. You're quite gripped and entertained by it all. So, I would say, overall, as a latter-day Hammer film, it's very entertaining. You know where you are with this straight away, because it's in the new era of Hammer trying to be that new, open, more explicit kind of film they're producing. And we get, of course, the straight away, it makes no difference. You see this naked lady being sacrificed, and they're already showing the nudity, and you get the blood and everything. So it's all there, the newer outlook on Hammer. But I just don't feel it works quite as well as the previous one at all. But it's still enjoyable, and of course it's no longer gothic Hammer at all. It's in the modern world, as we saw from Dracula AD 1972. But, you know, I like it. I do enjoy it, definitely. And it's always interesting to see at the sort of latter part of Hammer what is going on and how they were moving in their new direction. which ultimately didn't really work out for them, but there we are. That's it. But it's good, very good to watch. Just a quick word. This is on this HMV Premier label, and it's got nice cover. We've got inside just a Blu-ray disc, and you've got some art cards and poster and all that. I think for me, it's a really nice addition. The one thing that we've had on some of the other editions of Hammer films is really good set of extras, and this is lacking in extras, and you really kind of wish that there was a good documentary. It would be really good to see one. Hopefully this may get one and a re-release, and somebody will come along and do a really good documentary on this. That is just, it is nice, it's nice, but I'd really love to have some decent extras, and sadly there isn't any on this. Anyhow, that's just my quick thing about it. So there we are. If you're interested in this video, please subscribe, and we'll let you know when I produce more of them. And then, of course, if you like it, please give it a like. There's all these algorithms and all that kind of thing, which, you know, and it costs notes, so that's good. Lets more people hopefully experience my videos. Well, perhaps I don't want to, I don't know. Anyhow, it gives you that chance. So, all I've got to say is, I'll see thee, and I'll see thee again.